if you're to graduate from college again in this new AI era, how would you navigate the environment differently?
The purpose, right, from my understanding of AI is as a helper.
What is the craziest thing you've done with AI?
The situation that you're painting, that it sounds like you're painting, is, parents are fully involved. Is a scenario where this kid have, maybe private tutor.
Way Love by Ludacris, sung by Ludacris, or an AI version of Ludacris. What really scares me is that everyone is just so welcome into it, but they're not recognizing the amount of damage that AI is about to do. Hey, how's it going? How you doing? Welcome back to Ruth Be Told podcast. Okay, we're back with another episode, and I have a guest with me today. I have a guest. Femi is actually returning, so welcome back, Femi. And welcome back to everyone listening to this podcast. And if you're just finding me and finding this podcast called Ruth Be Told, I want to welcome you and I want to thank you for giving me a part of your time today. I try to promise not to waste your time, and I'm bringing you a topic today that a lot of us keep talking about. It is literally the number one thing that everyone keeps talking about. I don't think you can ever open your phone any given day without hearing this topic. And I have Femi here to talk about it with me. I want to give a disclaimer that we are both consumers, not developers of this product that we're going to be talking about. And I just feel like it's important for, us to talk about how this is going to affect our future. So I know it's sounding like a secret, but before I talk about what we're talking about today, I want to just welcome everyone that's listening to this podcast for the first time. I want to talk about what this podcast is about. What is Ruth Be Told? Why did Ruth Be Told start? So Ruth Be Told is an adulting podcast, and it is to help people like me, where we were just graduating from college a couple years back. And I hate to think about it as it's 4 years ago that I graduated from college. And I'm just thinking, like, people that are graduating from college, navigating this new thing called adulting, and how can they figure it out? Like, how can they talk about it? Like, what group chat is there that you join that teaches you about adulting? I don't think there's a group chat that exists like that. I really don't think so. And that's why I created Ruth Be Told, where we talk about things, like we give it to you real, like there is no fluff or anything like that. And people that come on this podcast know me. It is how it is how we're going to talk about it. So what is this thing called adulting? And that's why I feel it's important for us to talk about AI, artificial intelligence. Okay, now I have Femi here with me. Femi, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I am so excited you're here. I talked about it the previous episode, but Femi is actually my partner. We've been dating for 5 years now. I've known Femi for 5 years. I think it hit 5 years since I met him in person on the 23rd of May. Like, I can't believe I've known you for that long. I feel like I still have a lot to learn from you, and I cannot wait to talk about this thing called AI. This thing that no one wants to stop talking about. So, what is AI? How can we navigate this new platform, this new landscape and era that we're in? Because there's no escaping it, right? So my thing is thinking about it from the perspective of people just graduating from college, Femi. How, if you were to graduate from college again, right now, if you were to graduate from college again in this new AI era, how would you navigate the environment differently? What skills would you focus on gaining, or what would you focus your energy more on, given the fact that a lot of people are talking about, AI is stealing jobs and entry-level jobs are very low right now? I was looking at a statistic. So someone was talking about a stat where they were saying the amount or the rate of entry-level jobs right now that are not, the rate of entry-level workers that are not being employed are almost the same, or if not the same, as the rate of people without a college degree. That is mind blowing. And I'm just like, so now what's the point of going to college? But I want to
Oh,
hear from
that's a
you.
different conversation.
I want to hear from you. What would you do differently if you were to graduate college right now and someone listening to this, a college student, and they're like, I don't know what to do. AI is taking over all of these other things. What do I do?
To be frank, I would hope that I will not be graduating college at this point in time.
It's
And
crazy.
the main reason why is so that I can really develop myself and learn more.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We don't know where AI is going to take us, but we know we are on this ship and we're going. We're going somewhere, right? And so I'll definitely say, if you're still in school, um, learn about AI. That's the one thing I'll definitely say. If you're still in school, learn about AI. If you're just getting out of school, there are multiple options that you can do, right? Whether that is go back to school, get your master's, something in AI systems. But if you don't want to do that, I would definitely say be really good at storytelling. Um, we have these different tools now. When we
Mm-hmm.
talk about generative AI, that can help us to really communicate, visualize, just different ideas that we have in our minds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, while there's a whole lot of, stigma of AI is taking jobs, AI is also creating jobs as well. So if you want to be in front of it, you need to use it as much as possible, and you need to create and be a storyteller.
Ah, Femi. I think you know this, but I have a very big love and hate relationship with AI.
Mm-hmm.
I know you talk about I know you talk about how AI is creating jobs, but I think it is doing more damage when it comes to career. And I want to go back to the point you talked about when you talked about how, people should learn AI and all of those things. So do
Mm-hmm.
you two questions for you. Do you think people coming out of college right now that wanted to study computer science, or that even having getting out of college with a computer science degree, or anything in relating to the areas that we are hearing that AI would take over, do you think they should take a different career path? And do you really think that AI is creating more jobs than it's taking? Because that's my own thing. I'm just like, I cannot imagine going to school, learning, and all of these other things, and people are training something else
Right.
to take over jobs and all that.
So let me clarify. Creating more jobs, you said, is it creating more jobs or that it is taking away jobs? The truth, there's no stats that I've gone that I've looked into, but just from guts and what I've seen, experience, and how I've just been scrolling through social media, it is not right. But what I mean
It's
is,
not creating more
it
jobs
is
than it's
not
taking.
creating more jobs than it is taking,
Okay.
because, and logically speaking, right? If you think about it from the perspective of a business owner now, right? We're using AI to make things faster, right? Efficiency is the goal. If I can do something three people can do when I utilize AI, why would I need the other two? Unless, I am a huge corporation that needs to scale up and that need that manpower. But I have not seen a company that's doing that. I mean, we just heard Meta is laying off some folks. So I've not seen a company that is acquiring more individuals or more people to do such. Um, it is creating entrepreneurs, and that's where I'm getting at. When I say you should
Okay.
be a storyteller, um, you can utilize AI to visualize, right? To research, to code, right? To do a whole lot of these things that you might not even have the resources back then, to hire all these developers, hire a content creator or whoever you need to hire to make your ideas come to life. Now, because of AI, you're able to do so. So I definitely think it's creating more entrepreneurs, more successful entrepreneurs.
I think that's something that I can agree with because I'm really seeing like a lot of people creating a lot of things with AI. Question for you.
Yeah.
What is the craziest thing you've done with AI? Or should I say mind-blowing thing you've done with AI?
So I mean, there are multiple. So I'm gonna give you two examples. One from a professional standpoint, and another one from a creative standpoint. Uh, Creative meaning dabbling, just having fun. I'll start with the fun one first, right? Music. Um, I have looked into a different application, whether that is Donna and other applications. I'm not sure if if you're comfortable with me giving out these different names, but other applications where you're able to generate different songs from just from a prompt, right? And you're able to really be intentional and precise in really the type of story you want that song, or the type of song you want that to want you want that AI to generate, right? Whether that is gospel, there's a whole lot of thing about that, right? R&B, rap, country, Afrobeats, whatever it is, right? Whatever idea you might have in your head, you're able to bring this idea to life. From the other standpoint, from a UX UI standpoint, you are now able to let's just say, for example, I am a researcher and I want to create a new application, right? We're able to use AI, whether that is deep search functionality, to really gather research quickly, right? The next point is using ChatGPT or whatever tools that you're using to basically give different personas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so from a UX standpoint, we have this thing it's called personas, where we're creating for a specific audience.
Mm-hmm.
So for this persona, this is what they typically will be like, right? So AI is basically able to understand what this persona will be, generate their responses, generate or they're usually from this age to this age. If you ask a particular question, this is the type of answers that they're going to give. Although it's not real human, we're able to use this synthesized synthetic data, synthetic, research to really come up with these different personas for who our typical audience and users will be. So really cool. The Sono AI sounds a lot more fun. The the music generation sounds a lot more fun. But those are the things that I enjoyed doing. Oh, there's one more. Sorry. Google LLM, Google Notebook LLM or Notebook LLM. You are able to also like create some sort of like podcast uh AI interactions as well. So something that we're doing, they sound extremely realistic. They're using yeah, and this like just by feeding it different datas and things like that. And this will help someone who might not have the time to read a particular article but still want to digest that information. So they will put that article, that information into Notebook LLM, and now it will tell you about the article. If you have a question regarding it, you click a button, you ask your question, and it will say, oh, based off of this article that you uploaded, this is what this person is saying. This is your answer. Super cool.
So I have a lot of questions. But I'm gonna start with the last one you said. So this notebook LLM,
Mm-hmm.
are you talking about AI podcast?
Yeah, essentially.
So basically, people like you and me, AI is sitting here talking and just having conversations, or are you talking about helping people to digest things that are being said? Because you said different things, or maybe I understood differently. You
Mm-hmm.
said you can put it in there and then the AI tells you what they're talking about.
Right.
So now I'm confused because if it's an article and it's being put in there and it's being summarized, I really don't understand. I don't see how that's an AI podcast.
So it's a podcast style, meaning I put in this document, right? And now there are two voices. The first voice will say something like, "Oh, in today's whatever, this document is talking about, oh, this person. Oh, imagine this is a this and this and this and that and that." And the other person will be like, "Oh, wow, it is so interesting. It also says that 25% of the world population is this and this and this and that." Right? So it is giving you information as if you're listening to a podcast.
Very, very interesting. Very interesting. And I think that again, that is the reason why I have this love hate relationship with AI, because I don't see myself. Why would I sit down to listen to an AI podcast when I have my favorite podcast people that I listen to, and there's a personality that comes with it? You can code and you can train the AI models however you want,
Right?
but that person can never AI can never replace a person. Can never. And and that's why I'm really shocked that personas AI is not replacing personas, because, and again, I'm not really in tune with the UX space,
Mm-hmm.
but isn't persona supposed to be a sort of like a feedback where the designer or researcher is getting feedback from this persona, in a sense of this persona that I'm using to create this app. If they use it, how does it look like? And then, and I think talking about lean methodology, I don't really know a lot about that, but like when it's deployed in the first or second phase, and they're given to these personas that the app or websites are created for, then they're able to then give feedback on the application. Now, are they going to then now give the feedback to these AI personas that they've created? Just and yeah, it's just I can't just understand how AI would then replace a user in that instance. I think that's something that I'm struggling with. But before you before you answer that, this Suno thing, right? This Suno AI
We don't have
song.
to just say Suno. This AI generation song, because we don't want to give them. You know what I mean?
Oh please, this AI song
Uh huh.
that you're talking about. Let's give an example. What's your favorite song?
Runaway Love by Ludacris.
Would you rather listen
And
to
Mary J. Blige.
Runaway Love by Ludacris,
Mm-hmm.
sung by Ludacris, or an AI version of Ludacris?
So before I answer that question, I do have a question for you.
Okay.
Or a scenario.
Uh-huh.
Let's say you heard a song for the first time.
No, answer
Wait,
my
wait, wait,
question,
wait,
because
wait,
now
wait,
you're about
wait,
to
wait,
no,
wait,
now you're about to
wait.
change it to something else.
Let's say, no, no.
And there's a
I'm
reason
going
why
to
I
answer.
gave you
I'm going
apple
to
for apple,
wait.
because I know the question you want to ask is related to something else. I gave you
No,
apple
no, no.
for apple.
It's related to the same question
Okay.
that you're asking
All
me,
right.
and I'm going to answer your question, but it can be a food for thought if you don't want to answer it. But let's just say that
Wow.
you got introduced to this song
Mm-hmm.
and you really liked the song. Like
Okay.
it was banging. It did something to your soul, to your spirit. The music, everything was wonderful, right? And then later on, you found out that this song was AI generated, right? Will that change your perception, the feeling that you had? Would that change your this song is no longer a good song because it's AI generated? Or
Can you answer my question before I answer the
okay,
question?
so your question is would I rather listen to Ludacris or AI generated song
For the same Runaway Love.
for the same running with? I think that's an impossible question to answer
Why?
from the perspective of I've already heard Runaway Love. So now it's going to be hard for me to hear a different version. However, if you're to say if Ludacris and Mary J. Blige was to create another song, the same style of song, and an AI generated song is to create something similar, the same style, right? Music hits me differently, right, than other people maybe. So if it sounds good, it sounds good. Just put it out there. If it sounds good, it sounds good. So I'm not going to discriminate
Discriminate is wild.
I'm not going to discriminate based off of how the song gets outputted. If it hits, it hits.
Okay, so I'm not disputing it, and that's why I asked you a very specific question. I'm not disputing the fact that
Did I
if
answer your
it's
question?
yes,
Okay.
you did. You answered my question in the sense of you would pick a human over AI. And
That's not what I said.
you would pick the human version of Ludacris Runaway Love over the AI version of Ludacris Runaway Love because you feel like it's already existing, and so you've heard the human version before the AI version.
Right.
And the point I'm trying to make is you're thinking of this AI song as it making sense only if there is no human version, right? But the thing that I would tell you, if it was flipped, if there was an AI version of a song
Mm-hmm.
using Ludacris' voice, and then Ludacris sings the same song in his own voice, I would prefer the song of Ludacris in his own human voice than even if I heard the AI version first. And that is my own thing. It's like, okay, I'm not against you using AI song to express yourself and, because not a lot of people can pay producers and all of these other things. I get it. But we cannot dispute the fact that people and everyone, I want to believe, would pick the human version over the AI version if they were to put them side by side. The song that you're talking about, oh, if it sounds good, it sounds good. Yeah, cool. But like, if it sounds good and I don't know, someone decides to sing the same song, everyone, and I want to believe you as well, would prefer the person that sang it in human voice.
That's not true.
Why don't you think so?
It's not true from the perspective of we have an example of that already. Covers, right? You're the original artist, right? And now I decide to sing the same song that you.
But we're talking about AI.
I decide to. Once again, my thing is, if it sounds good, it sounds good. If it sounds better, then it sounds better. And even from the Ludacris "Runaway Love" song featuring Mary J. Blige, if the AI version sounds good, and if it sounds better, then it sounds better. So where I'm getting at is covers are a thing. If a cover sounds better than the original, I can't say it doesn't sound better if it sounds better. You get what I'm saying? That's not. We don't need to, and it's also it's not doesn't have to be a competition either, right?
No, at
Everybody
first, AI is not a competition.
everybody have their own taste, right? What sounds good to you might not sound good to me, right? So, and that's just even human artists. Some people love Thames, while others, who is a hater, don't like.
We're not
your
going to talk
voice.
about that today. We're not going to talk about Thames
You know what I
today
mean?
because no one comes for Thames. But I want us to go back to two things. I don't think you answered the question of the personas because I think I'm trying to understand why AI is replacing that, and would they give feedback for personas?
So it's not that it is replacing it. So it's once again synthetic data. So depending on the this how fast our deliverables needs to be, right? We need to. There are different stages of the design process. So the define process is where I have used this for, which is like you can say is like the start where the empathize, and that is the first phase, right? So sometimes I will go on Apple Store, Google reviews to like see what users are saying, right? Sometimes we're able to get their information of like age, and we're able to know all of these things, right? So you know what a typical who's your audience? Who are your audience? What's the age range? You are feeding this into ChatGPT or any AI thing, and you say, okay, this is my audience. My audience is from Cincinnati, Ohio, right? From the age of this. You kind of understand, or it will kind of understand that that environment, that type of audience to give. I'm not saying it's 100% accurate, right? But it is giving you an understanding of who they are, right? And how their behavior are, what their buying power and all these other things. It understands that. So now when you, let's just say, because you mentioned once the application is deployed, we can now do something called user testing, right? User testing, I have not done it from the perspective of AI, but
Do you think that's
usually,
possible for people to start using AI as for the user testing phase? Because that would be crazy.
so
I don't even think you want to say
no no no
anything
no no
bad about AI at
no
all.
no
You're
no no no
just
no 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 no
like,
no no, don't get me wrong, don't get me, the reason why I think it could be possible if another AI is using that application. If you're building a agent to agent or however that that works, if another AI is using an application, then maybe. But the whole
what?
purpose of user experience is literally for the users. So I don't think it is possible for that perspective. If you're building for the users, right, it makes sense for the users to test the application, not AI.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. As long as they don't replace the users or AI with the users, then I think um I'm okay with that. But I still feel like AI has a lot of, it is the damage that AI is about to do to the world. I don't even think we're prepared for it. And I think that's what really scares me because everyone is so open. Oh my gosh, AI, this is the new technology age and this is a new thing. And what really scares me is that everyone is just so welcome into it, but they're not recognizing the amount of damage that AI is about to do. Let's take it back to AI and education.
Okay.
There's a difference between learning and passing. That is it's very different.
That is
When
facts.
I was in school, I got A in Yoruba. When I was in school, I got A in Yoruba. Does that mean I learned Yoruba? Does that mean I can speak a lick of Yoruba? No. So if people and students are now using AI to pass, does not mean that they are learning. I was talking to a girl, she's like 11, 12. And she was like, "Oh yeah, I use ChatGPT. What are you using ChatGPT for?" And so this is my take. I think that AI is killing creativity as much as it is creating entrepreneurs. It is killing the creativity of people to think, to be creative, to think about things in their own way. I recognize the benefit of AI. I recognize that AI is helping people with writer's block or, that have restrictions when it comes to building apps, and everyone can really be a software engineer now and build apps and all of that. And I actually
That's
want
not
you to
true.
talk
Not
about
everybody can be software engineers. There's
and I
levels
actually
to
want
it.
you to talk about the app that you built recently. But I know it creates a lot of opportunities, right? But there are a lot of harm that it's doing to creativity and education, that there needs to be certain regulations. It needs to be regulated before it gets out of hand, especially in education. We're talking about the next generation. And sometimes I just think about my kids, like growing up in a new AI world. How does that look like for them? And what harm and how much harm would that do to how they learn or how creatively they think? So my own take is AI is killing creativity. What do you think about that? I feel like I already know what you think, but what do you think about that?
AI can kill creativity if you allow it. I think one of, like, we were talking about schools, right? Something that is important for people to understand and people to learn is really the psychology of dependent on AI. What that really looks like, right? How to snap out of it. I think it's something that is important to learn because I'm sure there are people who depend on it now, right? Um, from the perspective of education as well. So, oh, quick question. Bawoni.
Enko.
Which one is Ayinko? Bawoni.
Ṣé dáadáa.
Dadani.
Dáadáa ni.
Okay. Kí ni orúkọ rẹ?
Orúkọ mi ni Ruth Uche.
Okay. So
But
where
I
I
did not
was
learn
wait,
that from
wait,
school,
wait,
though.
wait,
I
wait,
learned
wait,
that from
wait,
my
wait,
environment.
wait. Where I'm getting at is yes, there's a difference between learning and passing, right? And there's also forgetting, right? Because you getting an A, when you cram things, you still there's some level of things that you remember and that you have learned from cramming. I've never seen anybody that got an A solely off of cramming and forgetting everything that they have learned. I've not seen it, but if you say so, you say so. Um, but yeah, from the perspective of learning though, AI has helped and can AI can, and I'm sure it has helped people understanding large concepts of things that might be a little bit complicated, right? So it while it can kill creativity, I think it does depend on the person that is utilizing AI. If you're using it just to get that thing done, right? Then yes, but if you're using it to learn, that's just another way. But
Yeah, but like basically what I'm trying to say is the new generation of people,
mm-hmm.
our kids, the new generation, even Gen Z, Gen Y, or where are they right now? I don't even know. Gen Alpha, right? These people don't have a choice. It is not let me make a decision on whether to use AI or use AI to learn or to cram and all these other things because they're young. Their frontal lobe is not developed to really say, I want to pick between right and wrong. Now, me and you can decide to use AI in the sense of, I'm just going to use AI to learn, not necessarily to cram. I have passed, there are certain exams that I'm just like, you know what? I have limited time to basically read, and I crammed it and I passed. But I forgot. Cramming, you will forget when you cram. But learning, you don't. That Oru Korean, like the Yoruba was speaking, it was strictly based off the fact that I grew up in Lagos. I don't remember a leak of, actually, no, that's wrong. I remember Abichidi. No, that's Igbo.
That's a combination of two things you just did. Abichi.
But yeah,
Abi is Yoruba, but hey.
Abi is Yoruba.
Mm-hmm.
No, Abi. Anyways. I want us to get back to topic. Back to topic. So, with this creativity thing now, my take or my concern again is the long term disadvantage of AI. And I think no, go ahead.
No, long term different. I think you're while we both have two different perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are other perspectives that you're not really touching on, which is also from like the health sectors as well, right? Doctors and nurses, or doctors per se, they have limited time of visiting a patient due to long write ups that they have to do. So, if AI is able to help them to achieve that faster while they can attend to their patient, I think that's a there's a positive there, right? When we talk about kids and all these other things, I mean, we need to really understand that the kids should not be teaching themselves, right? Parents should also be involved in teaching in
Yeah.
kids learning, not just taking them to school, right? But also when they get back from school, right? They need to have actual ways at home of learning it. They need to have restrictions of things that they can use and they cannot use. And I really disagree with the fact that they should not use AI. So anybody ever
For
think that
kids?
kids should not use AI. I completely disagree with
Really?
that.
How old do you
The
think
reason,
kids can start using AI? From how old?
um, as old as they can start using a computer.
To do what? What are they using AI for?
What are they using computer for?
What are they using AI for? What would you say kids it's okay for kids to start using AI? Like, what would they be using AI for? Because we talk about AI
So,
making things easier for us.
mm-hmm,
Oh, we have a writer's block, or it's not killing creativity.
mm-hmm,
It's only helping me move faster or further.
okay.
What would kids use it for? Because it's not like they're trying to build a business or do anything related to that. There, it removes, I feel like when we introduce kids to, oh, you can use AI,
Mm-hmm.
it removes the aspect of, I want to ask my teacher, I want to talk to my parents about XYZ, I want to learn from them. Rather you just say, oh, go check ChatGPT or go check Claude. That removes a very significant part of learning for the kids. So
Like which
again, my
what?
question is, what would the kids be using AI for?
So once again, I mean, then this is where there needs to be, like, once again, restrictions, right? I think it is interesting for kids to be able to consume AI content that can help them learn, but not able to use to maybe reproduce the same type of content that they are watching. Um, so I'll say, to answer your question, learning. I think learning at a young age what AI is, how to use it. I think that is something that should be in consideration for parents when they are teaching their kids and raising their kids.
So there's a difference between learning about AI and using AI to learn. And I
To
think
really learn, not to memorize, because remember, we just made the distinction, right?
Mhm.
To learn.
Okay. To use AI to learn, I don't I think it removes a very important part, and I don't agree with that. And that disturbs me really, really bad. I don't agree that kids should use AI to learn.
Mm-hmm.
What are the parents there for? What are the teachers
Okay.
there for?
Let me
And
paint.
like what are classes there for?
Let me paint you a
Because it's
scenario.
because it's just like, oh, go imagine your kid coming to you and saying, oh, how do I do this? In that moment where it's you're teaching your kid algebra or calculus or English or whatever it may look like, there is a learning, there is an understanding, there's relationship being built in that process of learning together with your kids.
Right.
So why would we now say, oh, go learn yourself? That is making kids grow up faster than they should, because as kids they're dependent on you. But with you saying, oh, they should use AI to learn, is you making them independent and making them grow faster than they should of, oh, you can use AI to learn on your own. AI is not their parent, is not their teacher, is not, you know, their extra teacher, whatever that may look like. The parents and the teachers are. So if we're now saying, okay, you just go use ChatGPT to learn so you can learn faster and further, and I just feel like that's very unfair to the kids.
So in a world where everything turns out right and everybody learned the same, I agree. But not everybody's situation is the same.
Mm.
The situation that you're painting, that it sounds like you're painting, is, you know, parents are fully involved. Is a scenario where this kid have, maybe private tutors and people that he can reach out to. Is a scenario where you're even saying that the kid have the confidence to even ask a question to a teacher, because you do know there are some kids where they might have stage fright, so not being able to read in front of a classroom even though they're the same age, right? Kids that might need extra learning because they did not get algebra, right? So, or they didn't get math, what 1 plus 1 is. For some reason, it is hard, and that is very possible, right? And it's okay as well. But for those kids, telling them that how you don't have this uh, support system with whether your parents work 80 hours a week, you know, but there's this thing that can still help you bridge that learning gap. That's what AI can do for them.
I understand that, right? And I think the part where you were getting me was when you were talking about underserved kids where they don't have opportunities to learn, to go to school. I mean, I guess America's system really sort of helps with that.
And you're just talking about
But
America, right?
yeah, I mean, I'm talking about where I'm currently, where I am currently. So you were getting me with that point where it's like, okay, people that don't have the opportunity to learn can then lean on AI to really learn and search and all those things. However, when you talked about stage fright and not even able to ask questions, you're saying people that have stage fright should just be like, okay, yeah, I have AI, so that's okay. No, it
That's
is,
not what I'm saying.
I want you to get over your stage fright so you can start asking. I know that's not you're saying verbatim, but what I'm saying is with AI, if that kid starts depending on AI,
Mm-hmm.
there's the process of them getting over their stage fright is then taken out because they're like, oh, I don't understand what's going on, but I'm just gonna go home and go and ask GPT or Claude to really explain what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that is sad and that is not acceptable. I understand you're thinking about it as, oh, then they're able to learn. But what about the soft skill that is being lost as they're gaining the hard skill of learning that particular subject?
Okay. So, do you believe that there are people who have that type of issue where they have stage fright and they quit learning? They quit whatever, uh, they wanted to pursue because whether that is they have anxiety or they have whatever it is, but they quit that thing. Do you believe there are some people like that?
Yes, and I also believe that there are people who had stage fright,
Mm-hmm.
and because of that relationship building, they were able to work their way up and get over their stage fright.
Right. Do you think there's a higher percentage of that?
I think so, yes. I think we all started having stage fright, started as having stage fright. At least speaking for myself and a lot of people that I know, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
about you, but we all started as having stage fright. Oh, you don't want to go because it's normal. You're kids. Like, you don't want your friends to laugh at you and all these other things. A lot of us started with having stage fright. But look at us now, being able to present in our workplaces or even having a podcast like this to even talk about things. If that kid was now saying, oh, let me lean on AI rather than let me lean on the process and grow with the process, they are kids. They're going to grow
Mm-hmm.
out of that phase. But if they now say, oh, I'm just going to lean on AI, that soft skill is lost. And that's really the next question I have for you. But okay, so my other take is that AI is destroying the soft skill. I know you don't like the word destroying, but it is destroying the soft skill that no, rather, it is creating and improving the hard skill, but not helping with the soft skill. And because I know that AI is going to a really interesting place in the next 6-12 months. I was recently listening to an interview from Andrew Yang, if I get that name correctly, where he was talking about how he just got back from a conference. It was on CNBC, and he was talking about how AI is really going really fast, and it is a lot is changing. We're even now talking about quantum computing, where it's like now that's the next stage and the next level of AI. Like things are really moving fast. So it is really not going to what a lot of people and a lot of jobs and all these other things are now going to lean more towards the soft skill more than the hard skill of who can code and who can create things. And this reminds me of when technology and computers came up, typewriters, or yeah, that's what they call them, right? Typewriters were no longer needed because they didn't need you to like punch that. But a lot of people were typewriters a lot of people were typewriters during that period. And because computer took over, then you now saw people moving towards being writers and all these other things. And I think that is coming back. I think that is going to come back because AI is now making things so generic that now a lot of companies want something so unique and creative from minds instead of AI. And even outside of, the written communication and all that, even the spoken words, people are not going to come to conference and then what is displayed on the stage is someone standing, an AI person talking. So now it brings up opportunities for people that have the soft skill of speaking, communication in general, reading, spoken, whatever that may look like, or interpersonal relationships and all these other things.
Mm-hmm.
So my take is that AI is only developing hard skill and not developing soft skill. And because people have lost the translation or focused too much on what AI can do, they're forgetting to develop their soft skill. What do you think about that?
I think a lot of the things that you're saying is really saying that AI is replacing rather than AI can or is enabling, right? I think AI's the purpose, right, from my understanding of AI is as a helper. Something that can help you to achieve whatever you want to faster, right? So for someone who is a songwriter and they have writer block, AI is to help them with that writer block. So I'll say that I don't want to like go too much back and forth, but I'll definitely say that my take is AI is not replacing. Well, AI have replaced, right? I think I would be very
It's
I'll be
sensitive.
I'll be gaslighting if I say AI has not replaced, right? AI has replaced, and so just like you just said, computer AI is going to replace, just like computer and the internet did, right? But it's also there's going to be avenues, and that is dependent on all of us as a human race to create something that can create new jobs, right? Even with the um there's going to be new soft skills with the writing and all that things. Like if you were talking about writing in particular, who's to say that they don't train this model on these particular writers as well? I think that's very possible. So while things they get generic, there will be a time where it doesn't, and there will be another time where it does. It will always there From my understanding, it will always be a cycle.
Okay. And I agree with the last part that you talked about. I would just
Not
say
the first
that
part.
not the first part, not the first part, because AI is replacing and I think is terrible in a lot of aspect for
I
people.
agree.
And it is just like how do we navigate like all of these changing things and it's just like anyways, question.
If you don't use it, you lose it.
Question. Would you rather leak our Instagram chat? And I say Instagram because I feel like, leak our Instagram chat
Mm-hmm.
or leak your ChatGPT history?
Um, leak ChatGPT history.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I feel like my prompts, I'm just like, I don't want people to see my prompts. So I'd rather leak our Instagram chat. Because I feel like we just send
I don't think it
posts and all
matters.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think it matters either way. I think the things that I would not want, I'll delete. Yeah,
No, 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 you
I've
cannot.
deleted
Right
my
now.
chat history before, so
Right now, if you were to exchange right now and they say, give me your phone or
give
for
me
your,
your
yeah,
IG. I'll say I'll give you my IG.
IG?
Yeah,
What
I'll
about
give
text?
I'll give you my text.
Really?
I'll give
Over
you my
ChatGPT history.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I wanted to make sure that I
Because
was
like I
not
mean,
the
there's a
only
lot of
one.
questions that I would have that might even seem like it's very stupid, but once again, if you have something that would not say that your question is stupid, um, yeah, I'll give that. That's like a secrecy. It's like another,
Yeah, I know. I
you
feel
know what I
like
mean?
that.
Like
I
it's
definitely feel that
it's
way.
an
I definitely feel
extension.
that way. That's why I was asking. Oh,
Interesting. It's
okay.
an extension. AI is an extension of
That
yourself.
sounds terrible. That really sounds terrible. Another question for you.
Okay.
If you were to wake up tomorrow and realize that AI is gone forever, what would be your first reaction?
I hope I created everything I wanted to create while while it was still there. But AI is gone forever.
Mm-hmm.
I will be sad. I would not like that. I personally would not like that at all.
What would be your first reaction though? Because that's a feeling, that's an emotion. What would be your first reaction?
Is crying and
Crying. You've never cried, and I don't think you will ever cry. No, no.
oh,
But I mean, I feel like that's a valid thing to say
think yeah,
because
I'll be upset.
yeah, but the thing is because there's been heavy dependence on AI, and if it's just taken away tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be a big shock to a lot of people. I think
Just
there
like
would
TikTok.
be. I think that true. That's true. I think there will be a lot of loss of job because there are a lot of AI researchers, AI this and AI
No, there are a lot
engineers,
of people that use AI for their jobs.
and even AI job
Right,
and even AI roles where they
right.
want you to research AI or design AI and all of these other sort of things.
Facts.
So there'll now be a repeat of what's happening right now. Lots of jobs and things being replaced again and all of these other things.
Mm-hmm.
However, my reaction and my emotion towards that really would be I would be happy. I would be happy because
Wonderful.
I think that the damage that AI is doing is not worth the simplicity and the ease that it brings, in my opinion. And again, I am still on this education thing. AI is not making people learn. And if we don't learn and if we don't grow, what are we doing?
So and once again, the I don't know about other countries, but Americans' learning curriculum needs to change.
Yeah. That's a
It,
topic. That's a topic for
yeah,
another
it
day.
is a topic for another day, but AI definitely needs to be included because AI is not going nowhere. I cannot see what could happen that AI would just magically go. It's just like you telling me that would I like Ludacris song over an AI version when I already am used and I already learned and I already love this song. It's the same thing. AI is already there. People are going to remember this thing. We never forget and be like, what's going on? Somebody will recreate it as well. So yeah, AI is not going nowhere. Sorry,
Hallelujah.
sorry to hear that. AI is not going nowhere.
Hallelujah. Anyways, this has been an interesting conversation. I think this is not going to be the last conversation that we're going to be having about AI. I may even have other guests coming to talk about AI as well. AI is something that, like he said, rightfully is not going anywhere, and we have to adapt to this new reality and find ways where we can really just say, okay, how can we find the best middle ground between the good that AI offers and the disadvantages that it offers? Regulation or, being able to work with really what we have. And so I really enjoyed this episode with Femi today. And I want to thank you for stopping by. Thank you very much for
Thank you
coming.
for having me.
Thank you for chilling with me.
Know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying, what I'm saying. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And what?
I don't know what I'm saying. Know what I'm saying.
Yeah, like, what I'm saying, Like, don't do that.
It's
I'm
okay.
hip. I'm hip.
Don't make me ask
Okay.
questions. Let me start asking
What
questions.
question do you want to ask?
So let me. It's okay. Let's just close it out.
What question do you want to ask?
You're hip.
Yes, I'm here. Ask me one question. You have one question to ask me.
Name one Mary J. Blige song.
Run away, love. She was featured on it though. She was featured on it, right?
Oh yes, she was.
And she was in Power.
Song.
She was in Power,
Song.
right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So don't do that. And hip does not mean I'm hip to American culture. Yeah. Plug that. But I really do appreciate you for coming and chilling with me and stopping by.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for tuning in today to Ruth Be Told. We've told you what we feel and how we feel about AI. I know you may have different views just like we do, so don't forget to subscribe to Ruth Be Told wherever you're listening to Ruth Be Told. If it's audio only, if it is on YouTube, subscribe so you don't miss out on the juicy and nice content that I'm bringing to you. We're just getting started, okay? All right.
Just
Peace out. Bye. See you on the next time. Take care. Love you.